Yes, we are back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with the guys squatting up tonight. Welcome to another episode of Speak On It. I am your host, Big Mike. I've got my man Breezy next to me, Dylan in the corner. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. A good night. Everything's looking swell. Nets win. It's fucking wonderful. Everything's all fine and dandy. Nets win. Y'all shouldn't let me have nothing.
It is a great night. Knicks won tonight as well, so have no gripes on that. No gripes there.
Good night for New
I'll
York.
add a bing bong in for you, James.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night for New York basketball.
Bing bong.
One more time.
Well,
Bing bong.
we are running a three-man weave tonight, so let's get right into it. You know how we started off. It's been a long week in sports, and unfortunately for me and Dylan, who both have been tormented by this team for pretty much as long as we've lived, we have
Literally
to
as
start
long
with
as
our
I've
NFL
lived.
recap with the Patriots, with the New England Patriots, who got a big win on Monday Night Football and are the number one seed right now. And I mean, I don't know. I don't even have the words to describe the weather that game was. It was like being in a snow globe, I guess. I don't know what was going on in Buffalo.
I'll tell you, that's the game where Mac Jones, they did exactly. I didn't think they were going to just throw 3 passes all game, but Mac Jones was not allowed to play that game because his arm strength already isn't there, and to play in 50-mile-an-hour winds, all set on that. And Bill knew it's just they run the ball.
I hate the Patriots, but I will never doubt the fact that Bill Belichick is pretty much the GOAT coach. Like it's just no argument at this point. He's it, and there's no way Jones and his 8th grade arm ruin his chance of getting a 1 seed playing up there in Buffalo. So we run the ball, and then we run the ball again. And
the only thing that makes me question this type of play style is if, let's say, we're in the playoffs and you're in AFC North where it's terrible weather, or you're back in Buffalo and it's terrible weather. I don't think you can win a playoff game playing that type of football.
In the playoffs,
where you can't believe in your quarterback to make plays.
These defenses, it gets too hard. Playoff football is different. I agree with you. Playoff football is different. I don't think you can get away with throwing the ball 3 times. Like you got to throw a screen or something, like double reverse or something. I don't know.
They handed the ball off to Jonnu Smith yesterday. Mm-hmm. They were handing the ball off to literally anybody.
Anyone who wanted could have it. Just line up behind the quarterback.
Yeah,
I give Buffalo credit, and I've seen Buffalo defense getting killed. Like y'all supposed to be the number 1 defense. So how did you not stop it? But they only gave up 14 points. It's not like they got blitzed. They pretty much contained them. Josh Allen and the offense couldn't get it done, and I mean they had a chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm. The last possession was theirs.
Not like they didn't have a chance. And I mean, I saw Josh Allen throwing some balls around. So I wish he would have ran the ball more. But
yeah, I don't know. That Bills team's also not great at winning games. I mean, running the ball, winning games. Not great at running the ball, with their running backs, not their quarterback. And Josh Allen for 3 years has been that team's best running back. It's not like in Baltimore where they could just bring in running backs and just have it just keep going and switch and just keep bringing in new backs. But he's the one that they need to get going.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it is what it is. The Patriots are the 1 seed. The AFC is tight, to say the least. And I mean, I don't know who's going to win in the AFC. Although I do feel good sitting here knowing that I think it's pretty safe to say right now my Titans are the wild card in this, because if we can just get healthy and we can get that monster back, I have a hard time. I just saw the Patriots run the ball down Buffalo's throat. You can't tell me Derrick Henry couldn't do that to them.
no, yeah. If Derrick Henry comes back, or when Derrick Henry comes back, I feel bad for literally every single team in the AFC. Every single one. But at the same time, if I'm Tennessee, that number 4 team right there would scare the living hell out of me, because it don't matter how many yards he has or anything like that. If there's 30 seconds on the clock, they're scoring the ball fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only team if I'm Tennessee. Baltimore's cooked. I think Baltimore's gone. So. They just lost Marlon Humphrey.
That hurt. That hurt.
That was their best defensive player. They now have an injured secondary. Their number 1 and number 2 corner are now out. Baltimore's cooked. And Lamar Jackson, like, he's been a better quarterback, but like, he's not that same electric player that we saw the last couple of years. He's having a hard time. His receivers stink. They can't get open. They can't catch.
His receivers stink.
They're running into issues, and now that they can't play Baltimore Ravens defense where they just press man and send everybody on blitzes to get pressure anymore. You actually have to play conservative, and their defense isn't good enough to play conservative.
The defense isn't good enough. And I think that you're absolutely right. I think Lamar Jackson's been catching a lot of unnecessary heat because, honestly, he's actually been playing pretty good. His receivers are just god-awful.
It's tough to say pretty good because all we've known of Lamar Jackson has been amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, pretty good to him is, like, to the standards that we've set, has not been good. Like, him and Jalen Hurts have had identical seasons, and nobody thinks Jalen Hurts is good.
Which is amazing because I don't think Jalen Hurts is bad either.
I think he's bad.
I don't think he's that bad. I think he's played decent football. I don't think Philadelphia's got as good at all. I don't think they have
I think Philly's fine. I think Gardner Minshew is going to end up being the starting quarterback by the end of the year.
Well, yeah, because Philadelphia fans are unbelievably impatient.
Unbelievable, but Jalen Hurts was never the guy. Even in college, Jalen Hurts was never the guy.
I don't know. He caught a bad. He's had a bad string of luck. Like, so looking, knowing what we know now, was Tua really better than him?
As a quarterback, yes.
I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is just a better athlete. But I also don't think Tua was really ever the guy. I always thought Herbert was the one in that class, and then I watched that LSU team with Joe Burrow, and I fell in love with Joe Burrow in college football, for that matter, because of that LSU team and everything that they had and all those guys going pro. But, man, Tua was never really it. They should have went Herbert.
Joe Burrow is nasty.
Joe Burrow's so good. Fuck Jamar Chase for that interception that he made Joe Burrow throw, where the ball literally hits a basket in his hands and Jamar Chase tosses it up back to the DB.
Like, I don't know what that was.
And all I saw on Twitter is like, "Is this the guy who had catching problems in the preseason?"
Mm-hmm.
Man, he came down to earth real quick.
He's having a great year, though. He's having a great year.
I'd still take him on my team in a heartbeat.
So would I. And I have A.J. Brown and Julio.
Because I have fucking Corey Davis, and I hate him.
He's out for the year, so you can relax.
Hate him. Still hate him. We got brick hands Corey Davis, who all he does is drop the ball and fumble and just be stupid. I fucking hate Corey Davis. Fuck you, Corey Davis.
He's not played well. He's not played well. Not going to argue with you. He has not played
That
well.
just means Denzel Mims gets more shots now that doesn't have COVID.
Yes, the great Denzel Mims.
Gotta give him a shot. Gotta give him a shot.
Great Denzel Mims.
You just gotta give him a shot. I'm not saying he's great. You just gotta play him. Now you gotta play him. Put him on the field.
Now you gotta play him. So we will see. We will see.
Shout out to the Lions.
Shout out to the Lions. Me
Shout
and
out
Dylan
to the Lions.
with the instant pop in the group chat.
Immediately.
I was watching
Lions win!
I was watching that live. And my girlfriend was like, well, "Why are you excited?" And
I got up and I screamed.
Explained to her why I yelled too. I was like, "You don't understand. Like, I just root for them. They deserve a win. They don't deserve to have that winless stigma on them. They play too hard. They play too well. They play good. They play good. They just kind of fall in
But they almost lined it. I was
sitting here watching it live, and I was like, they're going to blow it again.
My brother texted me, goes, Lions going to lion. And then Jared Goff goes out there to Amon-Ra St. Brown on a 4-verse dime right in the gut.
Dime. I was like, whoa.
I got to watch the Jets suck it up. And then the next game that pops up on CBS is the fucking Lions and Vikings. And I'm like, oh, no, don't do this. I can't go through Lions heartbreak. And then Jared Goff throws a dime. And I'm like, Dan Campbell gets his win.
Throw a dime.
I've seen Dan Campbell cry in too many press conferences for negative stuff.
I know, for all the wrong reasons. It felt so good to see him happy. See, he
shout out to Dan Campbell for also listing out all the names of the students from the Michigan school shooting.
From the Michigan shooting. Like, that's what I mean. It just all felt good. It just felt good that
Dan Campbell's a great dude. Wanted him to get that win.
I hope they get some talent on that team for him, because that's a cesspool over there. That is a cesspool over there. So
I thought the Jets were derived of talent, and then I see the Lions, and I'm like, oh, thank God we're not them.
Pretty sure the Jets would sweep the Lions in a best of 7.
I don't think so. I don't think the world. Absolutely not.
Robert Saleh couldn't get a sweep?
No.
The Jets have a lot more talent than them, though.
I wouldn't even say a lot more.
I don't know. The Jets defense.
I think we have more talent on the offensive line than they do.
Yeah. Their line's trash.
Because when Becton's healthy, Becton is really good. Elijah Vera Tucker's very good.
Trash.
I think running back, they have the edge in running back.
They have the running back.
We have the better receiver group.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we have the better receiver group as a whole. I think that's a significant difference. They have an F receiving group. We have like a C+. I think defensive line we kill, because our defensive line is really good, especially when healthy, where you can have Carl Lawson, John Franklin Myers, Quinn Williams. Linebackers, we win just because of C.J. Mosley.
Y'all win the line. Yeah, that's literally the only reason y'all win the linebackers. Their secondary is better than yours.
Their secondary is better than ours because we only have one really good player in our secondary, is Bryce Hall. And Marcus May is okay. Marcus May was really good, but then he got DUIs and tore his Achilles, so fuck him. But
their defensive line, their secondary actually isn't horrible. But
they just have no front. But there's no way they don't beat us or win games in a 7-game series. We would split that.
You think I would split?
I think it would go down to 7 games. There is no world. And I love my Jets more than anything in the world. There's a hierarchy, James. I want you to clip this. There's a hierarchy with how I view the Jets and how I view life in general. Where it's on some days the Jets are number 1, and then my kids, and then my fiance. That's literally it. And then sometimes it's my kids, the Jets, and my fiance. But man, she knows what she got herself into. You know what you got yourself into. But mostly it's the Jets, my kids, Janice.
I was just about to say, shout out to Janice, because I don't know how she did it.
I love the Jets more than anything in the world. I bleed green and white, but they don't give a fuck about me. I've been in an abusive relationship my whole life. And I literally sound like you all don't see James, but I see him just laughing. Yeah, I feel like I'm just sitting there. I wake up and I just get the shit kicked out of me every football season. I get abused. I get called names. They just whoop my ass, and then they do it at parties and everything. And then everyone's telling me, "Go and get help. Go and get help." I'm like, "No, I love them. I can't." But it's the same thing every year, every single year. It's nothing but love.
On cue, they'll win a couple games, and that'll be equivalent to them bringing you some flowers and say, I didn't mean it.
It started in the offseason where it's like, oh, they brought me my flowers. Like, oh, wow, we got Carl Lawson. We had a good draft, all this. And then Carl Lawson pops his Achilles, and that's them coming home from work mad and just slapping me around. I get fucking ragdolled by Woody Johnson and the fucking New York Jets all the goddamn time. All the goddamn time. Bullshit.
All right, let's hit this NFC. I mean, status quo NFC. I know we did this segment last week, but I'm gonna bring it back. Washington football team? Good team, good story.
They're a good story. They're not a good team.
I want to say that they're a good story, but they keep winning.
Yeah, but they beat up the mediocre Raiders. You heard that, Anthony? Mediocre.
Good story.
Like, they lost to Taylor fucking Heineke.
Listen, man.
Taylor Heineke!
I told you that's Fitzmagic 2.0. That's Fitzmagic 2.0. He is going to be dangerous for the next 10 years. Whenever he steps on the field, you better be ready because he's going to hurt your heart.
The best thing is after that game, Anthony's making an excuse immediately. He was like, we didn't have Darren Waller.
He had 8,000.
Darren Waller don't play defense.
Ready for us in the group chat, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony had just excuse after excuse after excuse. It doesn't matter. Y'all needed the game.
You want to know a fun fact real quick, Mike? You know the Jets outscored the Raiders again?
Yep, I know. I paid attention because y'all had that whole argument about the Jets and the Raiders scoring, and
we continue to outscore the Raiders.
Outscored the Raiders again. I don't know how, but hey,
mediocrity.
Welcome
to the official land of mediocrity, Raiders fans, where y'all can sit here next to me constantly because I'm here year in, year out, and y'all have this little sliver of hope, and then every year y'all fuck it up. Every year y'all fuck it up, and here we are, getting closer and closer.
We'll pull the curtain back for you guys. Anthony posting this stats in the group chat. Derek Carr's got the most yards in the league, and the Raiders do this, and the Raiders do that. He just knew they were going to win, and they let him down again. I'm just waiting for them to play the Chiefs again. I can't wait. I can't wait for that Chiefs game again.
My favorite thing about Raiders fans is they did this thing where they put expectations on their team, and all that ever does is set up for disappointment. Trust me, I do it every year. Every year. That's why I set my goal for 4 wins. That way, if we get 4 wins, I'm a genius. And if we get more than 4 wins, I'm like, hell yeah, it's a win.
The Jets are flirting with that 4 right now.
We're flirting, and we have nothing but winnable games coming up except for Tampa. Tampa and Buffalo are 2 games. We got the Saints next week.
I don't know what the Saints are anymore.
Nobody knows what the Saints are. We still got Miami.
There's so much talent on that team, but they literally don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback.
Or wide receivers.
Or that too.
Michael Thomas ain't playing. Michael Thomas probably played his last snap in New Orleans last season.
That would be very Jet for him to go to the Jets and then be trash even more.
I would throw a fit.
Don't very Jets for the Jets.
Don't wish that bad juju on you, Bobby.
You telling me that wouldn't be so Jets for them to throw a bag at him? And then,
the most Jets thing of all time is throwing bags at players and them being terrible.
And them being trash.
But that hasn't happened like a lot with the Jets.
But Michael Thomas has Jets written all over.
I don't want him. I want Allen Robinson. That's who I want. I don't want
because
slant boy. All Michael Thomas does is run fucking slants. I don't want slant boy.
He's very good at it.
He's very good, but that's all he
He's
does.
very good at it.
Give me Allen Robinson. Try to get Devontae Adams. Give me those guys.
Not get Devontae Adams.
Can the Packers afford him?
No, but he's not going to go to the Jets.
If the bag's right.
He's not.
If the bag's right.
He might go to the Ravens.
They talk about a team that can't pay nobody.
They can't. They got to figure that out. But I think a lot of guys want to go play with Lamar. He seems to have that quality to him that everyone wants to play with him.
Yeah, but
everybody on that team.
I'm going to sound like a hater when I say this, but like, do good receivers really want to go play for Lamar when he can't fit that ball to the tight windows?
How do we know that? The best receiver he has is Hollywood Brown, and honestly, he's a 3. He's a 3, masquerading as a 1. Like,
I just don't know. Like, Lamar has grown so much as a quarterback. I don't want to sound like that much of a hater because I do think he's getting really good at playing quarterback, especially this year. Despite the year he's having, he's been a smarter quarterback.
He's got 300-yard games. He's got 3 touchdowns. Like, they act
I'm not going to take that away from him.
Throwing 15 picks a game. Like,
but he's also like not accurate. He's not.
His accuracy could get better, but it
can. But my problem with his accuracy is the same problem I had with Cam. Cam's accuracy when he came in too. But I never said they couldn't play quarterback. That's something I will say. I never said
I don't think that Lamar is costing them. But I don't think Lamar's costing them games. That's where I have the problem. I don't think he's costing them games.
It's tough because the play calling and the receivers. It's a lot.
The only time he really has to throw the ball is when it's 3rd and long, and that's not fair to him.
But there's a lot that goes into it where it's like, now it sounds like we're making excuses. Even though we're like not trying to, that's just what it comes out as. So eventually it becomes the quarterback's problem.
At some point, like if these coaches, that's the one problem I have with the NFL, which is why I like what the Ravens do with Lamar, is these coaches all make the players fit their scheme instead of trying to make their scheme fit the players that they have. The Ravens actually went, okay, this is what you're good at, so we're going to do this because you're good at it.
But they don't do it for the receivers. Because I watched Sammy Watkins for the better part of a decade get open everywhere he's been. I can't watch him get open in Baltimore.
He can't get open.
He can't buy himself open.
Now, I don't know.
And Hollywood Brown is literally like, why did you spend a 1st-round pick on him when you could have just gotten Robbie Anderson for less?
Yeah.
Like, there's no difference in Hollywood Brown and Robbie Anderson. Really no difference. Because I've seen Hollywood drop the ball a ton. I've seen Hollywood not even try to attempt to catch balls. Like, even though Robbie Anderson, I could talk about Robbie because he was a Jet. I got to see him. I hated him. Like, even though he didn't use his hands to catch the ball. There would be times where he would use his hands. He was a body catcher, and that's like my biggest gripe with a lot of receivers is you're a fucking wide receiver. You use your hands, and Hollywood's one of those body catchers too, and that bothers me.
So let me ask you a question. I mean, it's fluid. It changes every week. I'll give you an easy one. Do you think these are the 14 teams that will make the playoffs, or do you think someone's going to creep in here?
I think in the AFC, this is it. I think this is the most logical, unless Baltimore has a collapse that I think is very possible because of their defense. But even if that happens, I still think Baltimore is the 6 or 7. I don't see Pittsburgh or really anybody else getting in. Just nobody else out. Well, I don't see the Raiders doing it. Fuck you, Anthony. And nobody else in the South is doing it.
No one in the South is doing it.
I think these are the teams.
Colts. The Colts. They are legitimately the hottest team in the AFC right now.
The Colts need to figure out if they're going to try to make a playoff run or not, because if they keep playing Carson Wentz, they're going to have to give a 1st-round pick to Philly.
They're not worried about that. If it means going to the playoffs, they don't care.
But they're getting to that point where it's like if they lose another game, they're kind of like almost out.
Well, I mean, they're a game behind Buffalo.
And if Buffalo wins 2 games, how many games are left? 5 games?
4 games. I think
4 games. If Buffalo wins
they're a game
2 games,
behind Buffalo, Cincinnati, and the Chargers. They're a game behind them. I can see the Chargers and the Bengals losing two games still.
I love the Bengals. I don't want the Bengals.
Without even knowing the schedule, I can see one of them losing 2 games.
Well, Cincinnati has to play Baltimore again.
So there you go. But everyone seems to think that they're going to beat. Everyone seems to think they're going to beat Baltimore because they beat them so badly the first time.
Well, now I think it's almost a guarantee because they don't have Marlon Humphrey. Who's going to guard Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd? They can't play. They can't play that bump and run that they normally do. So, but I think the AFC is kind of where it's going to be. I don't think the AFC is changing. The NFC 6 and 7, I think, are going to be changing constantly. Like, I don't really know who, but I don't see football team being there. For whatever reason, I just don't see football team being there.
Don't believe it. They still got to play the Cowboys twice. So you think they're going to split or they're going to lose both?
I think they could split. Because the division games are always tosses up. But San Fran has a legit chance to get in and like have a winning record, and that whole division looks good except for Seattle. The NFC South is weird because I know it's Tampa. New Orleans isn't there. Yeah, nobody else in the NFC South is going to make it.
Carolina has seemingly already given up.
Isn't Chicago only like 2 games out?
Chicago's a game out. They lost. They're 2 games out.
Yeah, but like
if Fields
comes back to play Green Bay next week, that could be one of them trap games that because it's gonna the oldest rivalry in football that will always play tough.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is on another level.
He owns them, but that's a game you gotta watch.
And they have something to play for. They're trying to catch Arizona. So
and where's Minnesota?
Out after losing to Detroit.
After losing to Detroit, they're out.
They're a game behind Washington and San Francisco.
Oh.
So if they can pull it together.
Well, Minnesota they're weird because they stink, but they win games.
And they have talent.
So they could. At the end of the day, I'd have to put my money on Minnesota making it in over Washington. And I love Washington football team. I'd rather Washington be in, but I just don't know. But I also don't like to trust Kirk Cousins with anything. So
I wouldn't trust Kirk Cousins either.
Like, he stinks. I love that all of Kirk Cousins' receivers just want to fight him all the time.
I'd want to fight him too.
But
trash.
On a side note, did you see Anthony's top 5s? Top 5, bottom 5?
I did. You noticed that he left Kansas City out again, right?
He did. But
yeah,
let's give him some credit. He put the Raiders in the bottom 5.
Well, I think that was frustration. He only does that when he's frustrated.
To be fair, the bottom 5 should have just been Vikings, 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 Vikings.
Maybe Jaguars, Vikings.
Yeah, but the Vikings, man, you can't lose that game. I knew they were going to lose that game, but you can't lose that game. Nobody wants to be the team that loses to the team that only has 1 win or 0.
That has no going into the game, and especially when y'all are trying to make the playoffs, like that is a horrendous loss. Like, oh my goodness,
they need to fire everybody too. And I think this is the last year of Kirk's guaranteed money, so I think Kirk is out too.
I would get rid of Zimmer before I get rid of Cousins. I really think Zimmer's the problem.
Or you get rid of everybody together.
Or you can get rid of both of them.
Get rid of both of them, save you some money, and go get you somebody else. Because to me, there's like 5 teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks next year. You know, if they don't want to admit it, like the Giants will be looking for a quarterback. Miami is going to be looking for a quarterback. Vegas is going to be looking for a quarterback. Minnesota is going to be looking for a quarterback. Carolina is going to be looking for a quarterback. That's at least 5. Washington is also going to be looking for a quarterback. That's 6. Green Bay maybe looking for a quarterback. That's 7.
They probably will be. Well, no, they have. Well, I mean, Jordan Love didn't look good, but yeah.
And then because Aaron Rodgers is going to be in play for Denver and Carolina, 100%. But then it's like, all right,
Denver,
Denver.
Carolina, maybe Atlanta, but I don't see him going to Atlanta.
Matt Ryan still has money that they can't really touch for another year after this year. So that's where it's like kind of tough for Atlanta. I thought they were going to draft a quarterback this year as opposed to going with Kyle Pitts, but I don't know. But there's at least 6 teams next year going to be looking for a quarterback. I think the Giants are going to go after Derek Carr, but you're going to see this quarterback class coming in from college isn't great, but you're going to see a lot of like
Pittsburgh's pretty good though.
Yeah, but he's probably only going to go like 15.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, but that kid from Alabama looks like the truth.
He's next year.
I know, but I'm just saying he looks like the truth.
But I trust Alabama quarterbacks as far as I can throw them.
I do too. I don't trust them either, but
it all depends on situations.
That kid looks different. He looks different. He reminds me of Justin Fields, actually, a lot.
I also don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks.
Justin Fields looks like the truth.
Justin Fields looks good. I'll give him that. But I don't know. My favorite quarterback in this class is Matt Corral from Ole Miss. I think he's going to be really good. But this is a quarterback draft that's going to start at like pick 15 and go to like the second and third round, where you'll be able to get. This is going to be the quarterback class you get to sit a year, because nobody in this class is ready. The good class in 2 years. But we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. I don't care. Patriots suck.
Fuck the Patriots.
Let's move it on. Let's welcome our ex-fan.
I didn't expect that. It looks so much farther away in the corner.
Watch your tone.
How's it going, James?
Watch your tone, fellas. Watch your tone.
Well, we didn't say anything.
Listen, man, you don't root for them no more.
You're right.
You don't. So fuck them.
But I am back, fellas. What's going on?
What's going on? Can I get that bing bong sound just at the time of the
bing bong?
Knicks win tonight. Knicks win. I just want to throw that out there. Knicks win. It's always a good night.
What's that? I can't see or hear you. Nets win. Nets win. Coming back from 17 points down, led by the best in the world, Kevin Durant. Playing defense, knocking down important shots. I don't care what you say. Best in the world.
I wouldn't say
la
that.
la, best in the world.
Play
the CM Punk best in the world.
I am the best in the world.
I gotta download that clip.
Personality. There you go. What are we talking about? Basketball? I mean, there's drama. There's drama going on. Let's start out in La La Land. It's always fun to talk about them guys.
Who them Lakers?
Put that crying sound, that one right there.
Hold on, let me do this.
And wait, let's get the graphic.
There's the graphic. Now.
There's the graphic.
Damn. That sucks. When this at the time of the recording, it's the Lakers Celtics playing, and before we started recording, we waited till the Nets game ended, and then we waited till NXT was over, and then we wanted to see what was going on in the Lakers game before we started recording, and immediately we have 3 Westbrook bad shots, Anthony Davis getting dunked on twice by Time Lord Robert Williams. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't even know what the score is right now because I decided not to watch this game.
It's halftime and the Lakers are winning. Thankfully, because Carmelo and LeBron have decided that they're going to play tonight. But man, they can't. It's tricky because there's talent. You can tell that they actually are pretty good, but they're lazy, and that's the killer. They're lazy. They don't play defense all the time. When they decide to play defense, they look like the team that could win a title. The problem is them old bones don't want to play defense all the time. So they play in spurts, and it's costing them because they're losing the teams that they should not lose to, and they haven't had a full lineup. AD, LeBron, and Westbrook have only played in 11 games together. We're at game 24, I believe.
25.
25. So the chemistry is not there yet. That's why I'm not pressing the panic button. My hand is hovering over it, but I'm not pressing it. But the reports this week, it sounds like the media, they're ready to get old Vogel up out of here. What you guys think about getting Vogel out of here?
I said it before the pod started that after Christmas, after we shellac them motherfuckers and bring old Yeller behind the shed, you got to do something. If they're on a losing streak heading into Christmas and then they lose on Christmas, you got to do something because you're getting closer and closer to the postseason. And right now, as of this recording, they're the 7th seed at 12-12 before the result of this game.
Mm-hmm.
If they go 12-13, they are the 8th or the 9th seed. But again, we're 25 games in the season, right? We're over the quarter mark. But by the time Christmas hits, we're going to be at what? 30-something games played?
About 30-something, yeah.
About 30 games played. Getting closer and closer to that halfway mark. You got to do something. Is firing Vogel like the answer? Probably not, because you still have to deal with the same type of coaching that you're getting, and who's going to take over for that team? Who's on that staff as the assistant coach that really can be trusted?
Well, the reports, and I wouldn't have a problem with it, is that it would be David Fizdale. It would be Fizz.
Fizz and Brown got
have a problem with
connection
that because Fizz and LeBron have a good relationship. The only reason Fizz didn't work with the Knicks was you can tell some coaches. You can just tell some coaches are better with veterans. Some coaches are good with young players. Fizz is the type of coach that needs veterans.
Take that for data. Listen, what I gotta say about the Lakers coaching is that it's not gonna change anything. Honestly, I feel like where they are right now is very early in the season, like Mike was saying, but they need to figure it out. They need to just play it and see what happens. If they change anything at this point in time, you're gonna get that shot in the arm of adrenaline with the new coach, and you think things are gonna be good and fix themselves, and I don't think that's the answer.
Well, we saw with the Hawks last year that's literally all they needed was to get a new coach, and then everybody clicked, and they went on a nasty run. But that nasty run also got John Collins paid. Mm-hmm. So, like, sometimes you just need to get somebody the players believe in, and I don't know if the players really believe in Vogel anymore, or if they ever did. Because I'm telling you right now, if the players believed in Vogel, they'd be every night giving you something and not taking plays off and doing the crazy shit that I see Westbrook doing all the time. But with Westbrook, he's one of those instances where it really doesn't matter who your coach is. He's going to do what he does 100% of the time.
I also want to point out that I think Westbrook is getting far too much blame. And again, like I said before, the real problem to me is Anthony Davis is not playing like a top 10 player in his league. And until he does, and they start playing defense, they're going to have these problems. Yeah, Russ's turnovers look bad. He has some weird decisions that he makes. But but at the end of the day, like I said, he's supposed to be the third option. He's not supposed to have the ball as much as he does. And it's because Anthony Davis ain't doing nothing. So Russ is like, well, I got to do something then because he don't got it.
So, but that was going to be my point where it's like with Anthony Davis, I can't speak to this because I don't know. I haven't really watched Lakers games this year and I haven't taken a look at the numbers to really speak on it. But it's like if Anthony Davis is not playing like great,
it's bad.
Russ has been a number one option that has carried a Western Conference team to the playoffs He's been a number one guy before. He should be able to pick up that load, especially with LeBron missing games, Anthony Davis like not playing great. Your best players are supposed to lift each other, right?
So I mean,
And
they had a good game last night, wasn't it? Was it last night or the night before?
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
but then there are some games where it's like Russell Westbrook shooting like 4 for 25 and has like 9 turnovers, and it's just like it's the inconsistency. It all goes back to his IQ to me, because it's tough to not to want to take blame away from Westbrook, but like this is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I'm biting my lip right now.
This is exactly what I thought was going to happen with Westbrook. Westbrook was never the option to me. That like when I like, why are you going to bring Westbrook onto this team? What does he do? Like last year, the Lakers were like 28 in 3-point shooting efficiency in the regular season and the worst of the playoffs for the round they played. And then you go bring in a guy who's not efficient at anything. When you have this rumor going around that you're about to get DeMar DeRozan, who would have been a significantly better fit in LA than fucking Westbrook, or even getting Buddy Hield and punch those guys from Sacramento, as opposed to getting the big contract that's Westbrook and getting the production that's Westbrook, getting guys who can maybe play, who have talent and aren't on stupid deals.
I think that though it may not ever happen, I think that Westbrook does need to come off the bench. I don't know who they replace him with at the starting lineup, because obviously Rondo is not going to be able to play all 82 games. But I think they give Rondo the keys for coming off the bench, and with Melo as well running off the bench. I think that'll be a good bench, and just give him the keys to play how he wants to play. But if we're talking about to blame, it has to be Anthony Davis. It has to be Anthony Davis. Like, I know, like we're saying, Westbrook, he has his moments, but it has to be Anthony Davis. We get completely overshadowed and overcasted by Anthony Davis' consistency of getting double-doubles, but it doesn't take a lot for him to get double-doubles when the Lakers take bad shots, and it doesn't take a lot for him to get 10 points. Like right now, he's played 21 minutes. He has 7 rebounds, 7 points. But what effect has it had on the game? Nothing. Not a single in effect.
I read a stat that I think Anthony Davis is like 29% field goal shooting on jump shots this year. And like it's one of the worst in the NBA for qualifying players. And I'm just like, that's not great. That's not great, especially since he's been this unicorn his whole career, where he's great on the block, he can stretch you out, freak defensively, great length, speed, all that stuff, and we can't knock down jump shots.
You can't. That's what I mean. Like all of this, that's my point about Westbrook. Though we can get and hark on Westbrook all we want, but if Buddy Hield was on this team and Anthony Davis is still playing like this, I don't think the Lakers are much better. It's the same thing.
Nothing.
I think my thing with Russell Westbrook is more so the timing of what he's doing. Because let's say Anthony Davis is still playing the way Anthony Davis is playing. If Russ isn't taking a shot 5 seconds into the shot clock and actually like trying to run a set and get Anthony Davis the ball, which goes back to my not even really my theory, but the thing I said last week where I was like, he's terrible on entry passes to AD in the post, where it's like maybe if they're spending more time trying to get Anthony Davis the looks he wants as opposed to speeding up and Russ being Russ, which Russ in a half-court offense to me is literally almost useless because he doesn't do anything off the ball. He runs a pick and roll, but he really kind of just runs down the basket, hopes the team collapses on him, then dumps down or kicks to the corner. Where it's like, yeah, we know that's going to happen, and then they either make the shot or it's a turnover. So to me, it's just like maybe we should spend more time trying to get Anthony Davis the ball in the spots he wants or in the correct spots for the plays, as opposed to just kicking him the ball with like 5-6 left, making him take a bad jump shot or a bad shot in general. But again, he's also a top 10, top 5 player in the NBA and should be making those shots regardless. But Kevin Durant's not missing those shots. Best in the world.
Steph Curry.
I don't want to hear it.
It is an argument between Steph and KD.
But that's neither here or there. The Pacers are blowing it up. They're on the trade block trying to get rid of all their people because Rick Carlisle sucks and doesn't know how to coach young players.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see how all that goes. Everyone from LeVert.
Holy shit! Rick Carlisle was the coach of the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
And this same Pacers team has been in the playoffs for the last 2 years. And now
they're getting what they deserve for getting rid of Nate McMillan. They're getting exactly what they deserve for getting rid of Nate McMillan, just like the Pelicans are getting exactly what they deserve for getting rid of Alvin Gentry. They get exactly what they deserve. They get no sympathy from them.
So they're going to get rid of everybody.
Drew Holiday, honestly.
From Brogdon to LeVert to Sabonis to Miles Turner, everybody's on the block. So if you're a struggling team,
very, very interesting because I know a couple teams that could use Brogdon. I know a couple teams that could use LeVert.
LeVert is on the block,
and I know a few teams that
the Knicks
that could use.
Y'all would love LeVert.
LeVert would fit with the Knicks, but I feel like he's just a slight upgrade over quickly. Like we already have that.
He's better than RJ Barrett.
He's not.
He is better than RJ Barrett.
He's better than RJ Barrett.
He is 100% better than RJ Barrett.
He is better than RJ Barrett.
I will tell you this as a scorer, as an offensive player, Karis LeVert is a better player than RJ Barrett. Karis LeVert is better at this is somebody who watched Karis LeVert's whole career.
I like Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert is able to get to his spots whenever. There's
he's
really
a better driver to the hole than RJ Barrett. That doesn't. And
he's better at pull-ups. He's better at getting his shot in mid.
Get his basket.
I watched Karis LeVert drop 40 on the Boston Celtics in 3 quarters. On Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, just giving them buckets from no matter where.
I don't think RJ has ever had even sniffed 40.
Yes, he has.
I don't think he has either.
Yeah, look up his career high. I believe it's either somewhere between 29 and 35.
LeVert, as a consistency piece, I think is exactly what you guys would want. Because he's going to give you 15 plus a night, regardless of his role. It's just a matter of how he's going to get his points and how Tibbs is going to use him. Defensively, I don't think he's an upgrade. But he's somebody who could be a 6th man and run with it. Absolutely run with it. I think Knicks fans would really like LeVert.
So then you're giving up quickly for him? Because that's what they're going to want.
Well, the thing is, y'all don't have a point guard, so it's hard to get rid of quickly.
My point exactly.
I think they would take Fournier.
I don't think they would take Fournier.
If you're blowing it up, you'd do anything, correct?
Why would they take Fournier's contract?
Because you're blowing it up. You take because you got to make contracts match because Karis LeVert has a contract like that. Karis LeVert's contract's like $27 million. So you'd have to get rid of Fournier to make the contracts work. And I think Fournier is making more or close to.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be Fournier in like 2 seconds just to move Fournier to get LeVert.
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, you like Fournier?
I don't like Fournier, but I wouldn't give all that up for Karis LeVert.
2nd round picks in the NBA don't mean anything, Mike.
You said picks, plural.
2 2 round picks. You wouldn't do that?
2nd round picks and Fournier.
Yeah, you gotta give them a reason to want to take Fournier.
Yeah, worth all that. They're selling. Why are we buying high? They're selling.
Because you got to make them want to give up the player. Because nobody wants Fournier. Nobody wants Fournier.
I don't even know why we want him.
Or you could put Kemba Walker in.
Now, Kimba for Karis LeVert, I'll do that tomorrow.
It wouldn't be straight up because LeVert makes more money than Kemba.
I know.
LeVert, Mitchell Robinson, and and
Kimba and Noel for LeVert.
that actually would work. That actually would work.
I'd do that trade. I don't know because Noel makes money too.
Noel makes what, $9 million?
9 or 10, yeah.
Yeah, because I think
Kimba's
we looked at it the other
8,
day.
I think
It would work. I think it would work.
But I would do that trade. Kimba and Noel for I'm sorry, the reaction. I just saw Russell Westbrook make a wide open 3, pose, and start dancing up the court because the Celtics called timeout. And it's hilarious that he's doing all that after, as we stated earlier, I literally sat here and watched him shoot 3 straight bricks to start the game.
Confidence is on an all-time high, man.
Confidence is on a million.
He's the ultimate irrational confidence guy.
Confidence
the ultimate.
on a million.
If there was a world where Miles Turner can end up on the Nets, I'd be ecstatic because he's exactly the piece the Nets need. A big who can play defense, rebound,
shoot the ball.
Oh God, it'd be perfect. That would be like Nick Claxton fucking bye.
Yeah.
James Johnson fucking bye. The only
good tonight though.
He stinks. I fucking hate James Johnson.
Him. I like James
because he's not good. He's not good. I know why we brought him
in there and do the dirty work.
Yeah, I know why he's there, but Bembry has been better than him.
Who's this? James Johnson?
James Johnson, yeah. Nick Claxton, James Johnson, Paul Millsap. Gone. Miles Turner.
I don't think you could give Millsap away right now.
To a team that is just trying to give people away?
Playoff experience.
I don't think you could give Millsap away right now.
Millsap has been great.
Playoff experience. If Blake goes down, that's who you replace Blake with.
Well, Blake isn't playing.
But playoff, I'm talking about. In the playoffs, when Blake goes down, if he goes down, you replace him with Millsap.
Because I love Claxton, but man, Claxton, you could fucking go.
Yeah.
You could go.
Yeah.
But I don't know who would even try to trade for Sabonis, because Sabonis is a weird big to me. Because he can't fully stretch the floor, but is such a good passer and doesn't really have real size.
Yeah, is he like 6'9"?
He's like 6'9", like 180 pounds. It's not like you can even use him as like a Jokic, where he can just bully people down low and stretch. He doesn't shoot the 3 well. He's a great passer, but like, what is he? He's literally just like, I think, a more skilled post scorer than Julius Randle. Like, that's it. Other than that, they're like the same.
He's Draymond Green without the defense.
By the way, Dylan, I just want to jump in here because James got real quiet when he looked up that RJ Barrett career high number, and I have it here, and I just
35.
don't know what that RJ Barrett career high number is, because
35. I said he didn't sniff 40.
35. Dylan, what did I say a minute ago? What did I say his career high was?
Did I say he did not sniff 40?
I'm sorry. It was 51 for LeVert. In that Celtics game. I'm sorry.
But you said he hadn't even sniffed 40.
Is 35 40?
You said he wasn't even close to sniffing 40. 35 is damn close to sniffing 40.
Yo, listen. Any day of the week, I'm taking Karis LeVert over RJ Barrett. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of fandom. I don't know what
the only fans I think, only people who would take RJ Barrett over Karis LeVert, I think, are Knicks fans.
I don't understand the fandom Mike has for RJ Barrett. I have no idea.
I don't understand the hatred for RJ Barrett.
Because he does nothing to change the game. He has lucky plays, bro.
Yeah, he's
not really that good defensively. He probably gets lucky on defense. He gets like a pluck here and there. He gets a lot of help defense. Players get RJ Barrett on defense, and it's like green light. Give me the ball.
On defense, he gets lucky on. He's just lucky to be in the NBA, I guess.
Yo,
lucky on defense.
I don't understand. I don't understand the fucking right-handed player playing left-handed. It's like a whole bunch of shit with RJ Barrett. Like what?
How he plays. I can't explain it to you either, but that's what he does. Like I can care less what hand he uses. Does the ball go in the hole? It does.
Nah, man.
I just don't know what RJ Barrett is. I think it goes back to the conversation we had the other day. I just don't know what he is. But there are some, like most rookies, when they come in, you kind of know what they are or what they're going to be. I don't know what he is and what he's going to be. I don't. Like with Siakam, I don't know what Siakam is.
I don't know what Siakam.
I never knew what Siakam is, or Siakam was, or what he's going to be.
Yeah, like 40 something other night, or 37.
Yeah, but he's like bad. Like I don't think Siakam's good. He's one of those players where it's like he doesn't really have a skill set. He's just long and athletic, but is like super stiff in how he moves and doesn't have a bag.
I don't know. I think that sometimes he underestimates himself because he can really be really good. Because he actually does have handle, he has a good mid range. He can hit a setup three, and he has post up game as well, and he can play a little bit of defense. But I mean that ever since the one that
RJ Barrett, that's what it just sounds like.
No, I did not.
Sounds like, but
no, whatever. I did not.
Whatever.
If I'm a Knicks fan, I do not want RJ Barrett to be Pascal Siakam. That's like terrible.
No, I don't.
Really?
That's bad.
I did not.
You want RJ Barrett to become a guy who has zero bag?
Well, Siakam's better than RJ right now, so I would take
not by a lot.
Right, I would take it right now, but I think RJ has a higher ceiling than Siakam does. I think.
But when are we gonna see some of that like come out? Because this year, like Knicks fans are saying one thing, but like numbers and other people are saying other things.
He's in a shooting slump right now, but he's
been in a shooting slump his whole career.
He has not. He's improved every statistic in the 2 years that he's been in the league. Like I don't understand. Like he is the player that he is now is miles ahead of the player he was when he got in the league, and it's only been 2 years. Like, what do we do? So like. I understand that Trae Young is a great player. Like, okay, he's not Trae Young, but like, let's not act like he's a bum. Like,
so as of right now,
I don't understand what we want. Like, do we want Michael Jordan, or like, do we want a player to develop and get better, and hopefully turn into a very, very solid number two? Because that's his ceiling.
Currently, RJ Barrett
number two.
Is playing worse than he's played in his rookie season.
This is the worst stretch of his career. This is the worst stretch that he's in right now.
So he's at 14 points, which is lower than his rookie season. He's at 39% from the field, which is lower than his rookie season. He's at 31% from the three, which is worse than his rookie season. The only thing he's doing better right now than he did his rookie season is rebound. Everything else, he is legit worse.
The worst stretch of his career. He's in that right now. So it's hard to defend him right now because he's in the worst stretch that he's been in his whole career, and we have to see how he comes out of it.
His whole career of 3 seasons.
Nick, exactly. His career just started. Like, why are we ready to throw him out? Like, his career just started.
Because you're in New York.
This is true. Because like his career just started.
You're in New York and you're looking for a star.
Want right now? Like he just started. This is the worst stretch he's ever had.
Yeah, let me give you a comparison.
What is it? What do you want?
Let me give you a comparison. What we're looking for is somebody that reeks New York like look and swag, right? So when we're thinking about who matches that, think about when Shumpert would have a good game his rookie season.
Shump was the guy. Shump in New York.
You don't get that with RJ Barrett, bro. Even though RJ Barrett shoots better than Shumpert, you don't get that.
And do not get my point. Okay, and at this point in his career, RJ Barrett is just as good as Shumpert was.
Not defensively.
No.
Maybe not defensively, but he's
defensively. Shumpert was locked.
He was not more athletic than Shumpert either.
He was not
miles ahead of Shump offensively at this point.
I wouldn't even say miles. It's like 100 feet.
He would not.
It's like 100 feet.
Shump would not shoot. All Shumpert did his first few years with the Knicks was dunk the ball. That's all
Yeah,
he
he
did.
dunked,
And
and he
great
had the
offensive
boogies.
And he
defense.
played defense.
Exactly, and
All
he had
did.
the boogies, and he had handle.
He did.
All he did was dunk and play defense. That's all he did. It was great. It was flashy. Woohoo! It's flashy, but like,
But
okay.
that's also the Knicks having success too. So it transitioned really well.
Like,
But the Knicks would have the success that they're having now without him. If you replace
yeah,
RJ with Karras right now, you're probably winning a couple more games.
Yeah,
That would contribute to wins right away.
bro, you gotta face this dude. You gotta, when you
all right.
if you
Listen,
with Karis
all
LeVert,
this is being
you
recorded.
gotta
All this is
face
being recorded. All this is being
when.
recorded. And when
Let me
RJ
say
Barrett is
this.
an all-star in 3 years, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to play this back.
So we
for
have to
you.
wait another 3 years?
2 years? Fine. I don't know. The East changes. He plays a hard position to be an all-star in the East.
Then why are you
got
saying
Jimmy
such a
Butler,
thing that
Kevin
he's going to
Durant,
be
because I believe he can. Because I believe he can get there. But it's not going to happen tomorrow. Like, that's my whole point to this whole argument is it's not going to happen tomorrow, and everyone's ready to throw him out. I don't see it. I see the ceiling. I don't know. Like, do we think that Emmanuel Quickly is what? What is Quickly then? Because do you think Quickly's better than RJ Barrett? Because he's not.
I think Quickly should be
He's
the starting point guard.
flashier than RJ.
I think
Quickly has
a
a really unpredictable game because he's so shifty and quick. No pun intended. But like he has a better offensive game than RJ does.
He does.
And I think he's
That's
a better.
Not what I asked you.
Do I think he's a better player right now? For the Knicks, yes. I think Emmanuel Quickly is a better player for the Knicks currently than RJ Barrett is.
You know what the issue is? The issue is Quickly doesn't get a chance to prove himself. If he makes one mistake, he's on the bench.
And then he just runs with Derrick Rose.
That's it. He doesn't have a chance to prove himself. They give him the keys for a short bit of time, and the moment he makes a turnover or a bad mistake, you sit down. That's it. RJ Barrett be out there fucking up sometimes, bro, and he just let him play.
He was first round pick.
And I understand that, but it's like, come on, yo, give some of these other guys a chance to play because, yo,
you don't think RJ should play?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I said Quickly should be the starting point guard. He should be the starting point guard.
I don't think
understand.
Alec Burks. I don't think he's playing better than Burks.
That's because of seniority and because he has composure because he's been in the league longer. Because they think that he's erratic, like how he plays balls to the wall. But it plays a difference on the offensive game for the Knicks because the Knicks
especially in transition.
Yes, the Knicks don't have no drive besides fucking Julius Randle.
Besides the second unit, because that's all the second unit does is run. That's all they do. The first unit has no energy. The second unit just runs up and down.
Don't you think putting some of that into the first unit would be a great thing?
Be the starting point guard.
That's a conversation with Tiz. That's not a conversation for me.
No, but I'm asking you.
Like,
do you
I
think
would change the Knicks starting lineup completely, but I'm not. They don't pay me like they pay Tibbs. So. I understand Tibbs' logic. The second
Toppin
needs
to be the small forward. Toppin needs to be the small forward. They need to really shake this shit up and get some energy going.
I wouldn't start him.
LeVert is a good guy for energy.
You can't. That's exactly why he needs to come off the bench.
6 man of the year. Put LeVert 6 man of the year.
But you can't start Toppin when you're paying Julius Randle $120 million.
You shouldn't have paid Julius Randle.
But that's not where we are.
I said small forward.
But here we are.
Julius is a power forward. He's a power forward. I said small forward.
So you're not gonna play Mitch?
Who? Mitch Robinson? He's the center. Julius Randle is the power forward.
So what are you playing Toppin?
I said small forward. That's exactly what I said. Small forward.
So who are the guards?
It's gonna be Alec Burke and Quickly.
So that's it. So Alec Burke, Quickly, Toppin, Randle, Mitch Robinson. That's your five.
Yes,
that's a bad defensive team.
That lineup is trash.
All right,
but there's not a lot of great. There's not a lot of lineups you go with that to play the Tibbs defense. there's really only like one main lineup that you could play that plays that defense. But then again, you have your second team who runs. You have to mix it up because your first team just gives up no energy. It's like in Portland. Portland's energy is all in their second unit, and their first team plays like dog shit all the time.
Like the same thing you're complaining about RJ Barrett is the exact reason why your starting lineup won't work, because then you're going to bring RJ off the bench, and if he plays how you think he plays, then the second unit is going to be terrible because nothing's going to happen. You don't think he can score? He only scores. It's going to be Derrick Rose or nothing. That'll be the offense for the second unit with your starting lineup.
Why do you think Derrick Rose was so effective in the playoffs?
Because he's a veteran, he knows what he's doing.
All right. Listen,
I would start Derrick Rose. I don't know why he's not. Well, I know why he's not starting, because him and Quickly play very well together, and he keeps Quickly under control because he listens to him. You can tell that by watching. Quickly listens and respects Derrick Rose, and when Rose tells him something, he listens, and he kind of keeps it together when he's out there with Derrick Rose. If you move Derrick Rose to the starting lineup and let Quickly just be Quickly, he's gonna be Russell Westbrook with a better jump shot. But that's what's gonna happen. I understand.
Don't you think the Knicks can use some Russell Westbrook though?
I would start Derrick Rose and let Quickly run the second unit, do whatever he wants. But Tibbs don't want to do that, so we got to live with it. But I don't think the Knicks' problem is RJ Barrett. I think the Knicks' problem is Julius Randle. So it is what it is.
Who is also playing not great this year.
I scream at my TV when I'm watching when I'm watching Julius Randle play, because the worst thing for him is like how people say the worst thing for LeBron is to hit a three because he thinks he's gonna shoot the next 2 threes. That's exactly how I feel about Julius Randle. If you let Julius Randle make 2 shots in a row, he's gonna take the next 5 shots because he's gonna heat check you. No matter what the aspect of the game is going, he's going to take the next 3 to 5 shots. And it's
I was
terrible.
A hater when I said the Knicks shouldn't have signed Julius Randle. I was called a massive. You didn't.
They had to sign.
Could have traded him.
If Julius Randle's not on the Knicks right now, they're a lottery team.
But he also doesn't help significantly on the defensive end or really well offensively to make that much of a difference. You could swap him out for any 20-point scorer in the league. It'll be the same thing.
He's a felicitator. He does move the ball. My problem with Julius Randle is not with James's problem with Julius Randle. My problem with Julius Randle is he's too indecisive. He needs to commit to what he wants to do and do it, because when he does that, he's effective.
It's Brooklyn with D'Angelo Russell 3 years ago, where it's like, man, he's not the guy. Trade him at his peak so we get value, so you get something. But like he's not the guy. He's not a number 2 guy. I think he's I think he could be a really good number 3 guy, but I don't think he's a number 2 guy.
I think he's a solid 2.
I just don't think he has the skill set to really be that guy. He got exposed in the playoffs, and he's getting exposed in the regular season for his ability to do things. He's not a good defender. He's actually one of the worst defenders on the team, statistically, which is crazy, seeing how he was like the spearhead of this. And he had a really high last year, and now he's kind of coming to earth a little bit with his success. It's like if there's a world where you could move him and get something great, you do it.
It really sucks that injuries.
The Tibbs system. I think Tibbs is running him into the ground also. So
yeah, but he played really well last year, and this year it just like doesn't seem to, from what I've seen in the few games, the effort's just not there.
He already seems tired to me. Like I said, it's the Tibbs. He plays the most minutes in the league. He played the most minutes in the league last year. He's working too hard. It's the Tibbs effect. He's working way too hard. And that's what I see. To me, he's in his own head. He's just indecisive. Every time he gets the ball, he waits for the double team to come at him, and then he tries to think to see what to do. When he thinks, as bad as it sounds, when he thinks, that's when he plays bad. When he just plays off instinct and just balls like he was doing last year, he's an all-star. But
The Knicks, as they are right
scoring
now,
around and
if they
making
got to
him
the playoffs, are out in the first round.
unless they can figure out how to play better defense. Well,
Like,
actually, they're actually very similar to the Lakers. They play defense in spurts. When they
which
decide to
is
play,
wild on a Tibbs team.
yeah, they play it in spurts. When they decide to play defense, they play defense. When they go into these lulls, the problem is they go into these lulls when their shots aren't falling, it affects them on defense. They stop playing defense when they stop scoring. So, and then they wait until they're down by 15, 20, then they go, all right, let's lock in defensively and get easy shots. So, I mean, it's frustrating. I'm more worried about the Knicks than I am the Lakers, mainly because the Lakers have LeBron James. But but I don't think the Knicks are in trouble of like missing the playoffs or anything. The Knicks will still make the playoffs.
The East is not good enough to the point where like the Knicks would have to worry about not
and the
making
Knicks
it.
have talent on the team. Like we just said, the Knicks have talent on the team. So their second unit is one of the best second units in the league. So like it's just
I'd be
frustrating
worried
because
if I was
like
in
you,
that
depending on who they play, first round could be rough again. First round could be rough again.
If y'all get into the situation where you're in a play-in game, that could be tough.
That wouldn't bother me because they play defense.
But it depends on who's it's against.
But them teams right now that are at that bottom play-in tier, I wouldn't worry about this. The Hawks scare me if Trae Young gets hot, but like Cleveland.
The Hawks would be the one I would be worried about,
Yeah,
and then it'll be the Hornets. But the
Cleveland
Hornets, I think, would lose.
Scare me. Charlotte.
Cleveland's size scares me.
They can't score now that what you call it's out. They don't scare me no more.
Who's
I
out?
don't even think
Who's out?
Sexton.
Ah, that sucks.
Out for the year. Out for the year.
Fuck.
Out for the year. So Cleveland, I actually expect Cleveland to start to come back to the pack.
Oh no. If Sexton's healthy and they have Markkanen, Allen, and Mobley in a lineup, that is tough sledding for anybody.
Cleveland might be good in a couple of years. They might be good.
Like
Jared Allen's playing good.
That's a game. If I see them in a playoff series, I'm like, fuck that. Because then you also have Kevin Love, who gets to be just like some random fifth guy now.
Hall of Famer Kevin Love.
Hall of Famer Kevin Love gets to be a random fifth guy behind the other three bigs, Sexton, and then you have Kevin Love off the bench.
So much hate from James.
He's a Hall of Famer, James.
So much hate.
The Hornets could be there too.
Hornets are dangerous, but I think the Hornets
are dangerous.
The Hornets are young, and they'll get immature in the playoffs. They'll try to do too much in a play-in game. So as long as you don't let the Hornets get a lead on you in a play-in game, they'll be fine.
Here's a sneaky team too: the Raptors.
I want no parts of that.
The Raptors are playing this new style of basketball where everybody is 6'10" long and athletic, and it is just horrifying.
I want no.
And then they got that one random guy.
I want no parts of Fred VanVleet right now.
Shooting threes.
They got all these 6'10" guys, and my boy Freddie VanVleet.
I want no smoke with him.
Freddie VanVleet ain't been the same since his son was born. He's been balling. Once little Freddie was born, he ain't stop hooping.
And he got the rookie Scotty.
That whole team, besides, like, I don't think Siakam's good, right? I think in a vacuum, he's not very good.
He is all right, man.
But you said all right.
No, he can be really, really good, though.
As of right now, I don't think he's very good. But in a lineup where you have everybody is that same size and length, and Siakam could be like your center, then he switches on a pick and roll and guards a point guard, and then you swap out another 6'10" guy who could guard the center. Like, that's just horrifying. It's just jail. It's literally jail. And then if the game's in Toronto, everybody who's on the Knicks is vaccinated, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you have to play in Toronto and you're not vaccinated, you can't play.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so you mean to tell me Siakam stinks and Draymond Green couldn't guard him in the finals?
Bad matchup.
Bad matchup. 7 games. They didn't go 7 games. Huh? It went 6.
Well, Draymond also had to guard Kawhi too. Draymond was playing a lot of defense that series.
He was trying.
And Siakam was the third best player on that team. Yeah, he
But
was.
Game 1, Siakam dropped 30+ points, bro.
In one game?
Because he's
That's
third
game
option.
Game 1, that was all him. He wasn't third
But
option.
tell me everything Kyle Lowry did.
No. He got that because he's the third option. He's feasting on third option defense.
But tell me what Kyle Lowry did that whole series. There was an argument for Kyle Lowry being Finals MVP.
To be MVP. Mm-hmm. My guy, Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry was balling that whole series.
World.
Right behind Kawhi, who was balling that whole series. Siakam played a great series, but everybody was hooping that series.
On that C defense.
Freddie VanVleet. Baby Freddie was born.
Lighting them up too.
Didn't miss.
So you could say that about Siakam, but not say that about Freddie VanVleet because he wasn't who he is today. That's crazy that you say that.
Freddie, I think Freddie, once Freddie had his son, he became a different player. If Spicy P wants to have a kid and start hooping, by all means.
But what I'm saying is, if you can say he was feasting on third option defense for Pascal Siakam, how come it can't be the same energy for Freddie VanVleet? Because when he started feasting off of on Steph Curry and getting all those shots and everything like that, you can say third option, the fourth option, defense.
Fifth option. Absolutely.
That's fine. He knocked down his open shots. Okay.
That's not what was given. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what wasn't given. It was like, oh, Fred VanVleet was on fire, but Pascal was feasting off the he was on fire, bro. He had a really good series.
Fuck Pascal, that's why.
Spicy P, man.
Yeah, we're not gonna call him that. So we're gonna move on.
Freddie VanVleet and Pascal Siakam is peanut butter and jelly. Yes. It's been stamped.
On to the Blazers. On to the Blazers.
Blow it up. Blow it up.
Are they gonna blow it up? There's rumors afoot. I'm gonna give you a comparison right now. Tell me how you feel about it. The Blazers right now are giving me very Las Vegas Raiders vibes. They're giving me those kind of vibes.
Being super mediocre, being the worst defensive team in basketball. Now, I literally just said blow it up. You kind of can't even do that anymore right now because now CJ has a collapsed lung.
CJ McCollum could be out
for who knows. And Dame wants to get extended.
Dame's a weird
just
guy.
Came out and was like, I want to be the highest paid player in basketball and get a 2-year extension to extend him through 2027 for another like $107 million.
I'm Portland. I say hell no.
Yeah, you don't let him go.
Portland can't. Portland as a franchise, even though Dame is pretty much at this point, I mean, there's the Bill Walton argument, but I would think Dame, and Clyde Drexler. Dame is the third. At worst, Dame is the third best Blazer in the history of the franchise. At worst, and we can argue 1, 2, 3.
So what?
Brandon Roy,
and he wants to be a lifetime Blazer, so he's putting them in a tough spot. But if I can't give him that money, I cannot give him that money if I'm Portland.
There comes a point as an organization where you got to be like, how long can I just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? Like, I also don't think Dame is loyal to the team. I think he's loyal to the fans and the city.
That's true too.
Because
that has value.
I think Dame more than anybody understands that the organization can just say, yeah, you're out of here at any point. And he's trying to make it very difficult for them to do that.
Well, that's what
because when you trade Dame, that city is going to turn on you.
Yep.
And unless you bring up something in value that'll keep you kind of in the same spot.
So you get some kind of superstar back. If they do one of these trades where they just get a bunch of pieces,
over.
That's not going to do it.
But then it's like there's also not a lot of trades available for Dame.
Nope.
That make it make sense. Just like there's also not a lot of trades available for CJ that make it make sense. CJ, I think, is going to be harder to get rid of because he's like not as good as Dame. At least with Dame, anybody who trades for Dame is instantly a playoff team and or better than they were.
Yep.
Unless you're Portland. Right? So, literally, I have the whole Eastern Conference up right now. All of these teams are better with Dame Lillard. Literally every single one of them. No matter who you give up to get him, you're better than you were.
He's a top 15, top 10 player in the league. So,
and then if you look at the West, the first 3 teams really don't need him in the Warriors, Suns, and Jazz. But if I'm the Jazz and I'm able to move and get Dame Lillard instead of Mike Conley, you're better. Defensively, no, but offensively, you make a jump. The Clippers, you're better.
Yeah, Clippers need him. Denver could use him.
If there was a world where the Mavericks could get Damian Lillard, I don't want to play them. Because you have 2 of the most clutch scorers in basketball.
You got Dame, Luka, and Porzingis floating around there.
Porzingis would probably be in that trade.
Porzingis probably be the one traded, but still.
If I'm the Lakers and you get Dame instead of Russ?
Listen, if I'm the Lakers and Portland is like, we'll take Russ for Dame.
Do it. Because guess what? The Blazers would be a better team right now with Russ because they need energy. They don't have that. They only have it in their second unit. So they probably would be better right now with Russ because that seems like one of those teams where Russ would just feast as opposed to being a terrible, like, not great third option. Denver would be way better with Dame because every young player they have is just career's over. Because Jamal Murray is just like dead and Michael Porter Jr. is dead. Minnesota's better with Dame. D'Lo, get him out. Like, everybody is literally better
Memphis
with Dame.
does. I mean, I don't see how Dame and Ja would play together, but
that wouldn't hurt. Give them more shooting.
I just can't see them 2 playing together. Sacramento could use them.
But, like, Memphis is that one anomaly where it's like, I don't know how
they have a superstar point guard. Yeah,
but I could see them working as Dame as a shooting guard, where because Ja gets everybody involved and Dame can just go do Dame because Dame's not a real point guard to begin with.
Tell you, Boston could use Dame.
Literally every team in the Eastern Conference gets better with Dame.
Knicks could use Dame.
Yeah, you get rid of Julius Randle and RJ Barrett in a heartbeat for Dame.
You drop Dame on Philly, and you can just hand them the damn trophy right now. If you can keep Embiid's body on the floor, you can wrap it up.
Will that into existence?
Milwaukee doesn't need Dame, but Lord, if they got him.
The Bulls don't need Dame either, but Lord, if they got him as well.
I would not. I already don't want to play the Bulls.
For Lillard. I would do that trade.
I already don't want to play the Bulls, but if Chicago got Dame, I'd just be like, I can't stay here. I'm not going to.
Are you trading Lonzo for Dame?
I'm trading everybody for Dame. Vucevic, bye. He's the one like guy who makes money on that team who can go. Actually, no, Levine.
But I think
Levine got to go because they're not trying to pay Levine.
I think him and Dame work.
I think him and everybody work.
Levine's interesting because I would consider it. Because
Chicago, they haven't extended Levine yet, and I don't think they're going to.
They're going to because they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to see them as a 3-headed monster, and they're going to be like, "All right, we got to do this."
That money that they're going to get from them making the playoffs is that's going to be Zach LaVine's paycheck.
I thought they brought in DeMar so they could replace Levine. But if you could keep DeMar and Vucevic, get rid of Levine, and bring in Lillard, you do that.
Where's this cap money from?
Well, Levine's making money.
Yeah, he makes money.
So it would probably have to be like Levine and Lonzo. for Dame. Or they may want Kobe White. They wouldn't want. They want Kobe.
Just throwing it. They might. I would trade him. I'd get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers are trying to Laker right now. By the way, they're going through one of these spells where they don't score, and they're trying to let Boston creep into it. But do you think? So they fired the GM. So usually when that happens, that's not good news for the head coach. Chauncey is in his first half of the year.
Chauncey's safe.
You think Chauncey said they're not playing good?
I think Chauncey's safe because he's trying to inspire that team. I don't know. A couple days ago, he literally sat there in his press conference and was like, "We can't have our second unit being the only team playing like they care." So he's trying to spark something, but they also don't have like a real forward. They have Robert Covington, but he hasn't been playing great. They literally play a lineup where their first three players are like 6'4".
Yeah.
So they can't even play defense if they wanted to.
But if you're
on
new
some of these
GM,
younger guys,
you come in and you try to get rid of. You come in and try and establish your own coach.
Well, if you're trying to establish your own coach, the middle of the season is not the way to do it. That comes in the
end of the year.
But I don't think a rookie head coach can get fired in his first season.
I don't think it'll happen to Chauncey because Chauncey's a Hall of Famer and
Chauncey will get a little bit more respect than that. I think with the new GM, Chauncey will actually have more say in the roster that he has.
Yeah.
How many seasons did Blatch have?
What, the last coach?
Blatch for the Cavs.
David Blatt, he had 2 seasons.
1.5.
No. Did he get fired at the end of his first year?
I thought he did.
I think he got fired.
He got fired mid-season. He got fired mid-season.
They replaced him with Lou mid-season.
That was LeBron move.
That was a LeBron move.
He was fired before he fired.
Yeah, but he was like the only one. And that was because of LeBron. That was very much.
They brought him over to be like a European god, and he ain't do a god.
And then he was running plays not for LeBron James.
And yeah, LeBron.
Imagine having, to me, the best version of LeBron James and not running plays for him. What an asshole. He needed to get fired.
Oh my God.
He ain't been back since.
Yeah.
He ain't been back since. But like, you gotta let some of these rookies. The only reason he didn't get the slack is because he was coaching a championship level team. A rebuilding team. Portland's now a rebuilding team. So like, you kind of gotta keep and see what type of coach Chauncey's going to be. Because what if Chauncey turns out to be one of those like Kenny Atkinson? I can really coach and develop young players. But
you got to start now.
And I can only coach veteran players.
He's got to start now.
Clearly, right now, he can't coach veteran players.
Whatever he's going to do, he's got to start now. Because if he doesn't start now, he's done. He's toast.
They need to. Well, that's where the organization needs to figure out what they're going to do. At least Indiana's come out and said, this is what we're doing. Portland, who knows? Because Nurkic hasn't been the same since he's been injured the last like 4 years. He had all this promise to be like another Jokic, and then he's just not. They're missing Carmelo Anthony bad.
They are missing Melo.
They are missing Melo bad. And I don't know what their answer is, but man, do they love Norman Powell.
I fucking hate him. He's on my team, my fantasy team, and like, oh my God, I have so many gripes about him. You know who his favorite player is and who he models his game after, right?
Who?
You've guessed it, Russell Westbrook. Yep, his favorite player and who he models his game after is Russell Westbrook.
Well, that sucks. But like, they got pieces there. Like Anthony Simons has been really good. But they just have nothing for size. Robert Covington can't run laterally anymore, and it's just bad to watch. So
They
like
just have bad luck with injuries, man. They really do. Because Nurkic, he was really supposed to be something, but then he just became very injury prone.
soft.
Collins as well. Collins, he was Zach Collins. Oh my god, he was really good, but he kept getting injured. Kept getting injured. And now we got the situation with McCollum, collapsed lung. It's just injuries,
The
man.
worst
Injuries.
case scenario for the Blazers is if McCollum has to like retire. That's like the worst case scenario because now you have all this money and you're fucking Portland. Who wants to go play in fucking Portland?
Nobody.
That is literally the worst.
Their chance was at the season of the play-in to get players there.
Mm-hmm. So man, that's just dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I have no idea what they're gonna do. I would love to see. I love when teams just shake shit up and like we're blowing it up because that gives bad teams a chance to do something. Like I would love to see Orlando do something. I would love to see Orlando do something.
What?
I would love to see the Pelicans do something. Because I'm besides like put Zion on a treadmill. But,
Yeah, that would help.
or Dallas. I want Dallas to do something.
You got a monk out here doing windmills.
Yeah. Looks
Mike,
like
you completely ruined my idea of what was tonight. You completely ruined it. It was supposed to be the Knicks win, Nets, Lakers lose, and here it is, trifecta: Knicks, Lakers.
Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. You try to make it a negative night, man. Everybody wins. Let's just stay.
Power of positivity.
Exactly. It's a new day.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
For someone that was pissed last week, but I digress.
I still am.
Suck me.
Still am. That was,
Bing
was a horrible.
Bing bong.
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Byron.
Byron. Who's the president? Byron.
When I was at Barclays 2 weeks ago, these dudes at halftime were just running up and down the halls, just screaming that shit. I'm like, wrong place. Go to the other fucking place. We don't want that shit here.
We have class here.
Go bring that shit the other place. Where the hooligans run out after one win. Talking shit about a player who doesn't even play on that team. Saying he's not allowed in Dykeman.
All right.
And then calling out Tom Brady, who plays a completely different sport.
He's not welcome to Dykeman at all.
But, oh well. Knicks fan's gonna Knicks fan.
The news for the week, another coach just being unbelievably shady. I don't even know what his first name is. His last name is Cristobal. The Oregon coach. I should know because I like Oregon. I like Miami. They did Manny Diaz dirty by hiring a coach while still having a coach, which is unbelievably shady.
Yeah, that's wild. But Manny Diaz knew he was getting fucking fired. He was terrible.
Unbelievably shady.
He was really good when he was the defensive coordinator, and then he got the head coaching job, and he sucks.
He's a coordinator. He's not a coach.
They lost to FSU. You can't lose to FSU if you're the head coach of Miami.
Not when you had a lead in the fourth quarter.
It's the first time they lost in like 5 years. Can't do that.
Yeah, so
That's what my brother gets, though. My brother's he lives in South Florida, and he's a big University of Miami fan. And every FSU game, he's talking hella shit. Hella shit. FS who? FS who? And it finally backfired on him. He's like, I gotta stay quiet. He's like, I'm not going on Twitter or Facebook today because everybody on there is talking hella shit, and I might have ignited them.
Interesting side note: Rods is a FSU fan.
Really?
Yep, I know it's random. No idea how, but
He likes these. If it wasn't for the Jets, I'd say he really likes these teams that were like good in the early 2000s, late 90s. And then he likes the Jets, who were good in the early 2000s.
But
Like
fumble.
2000. So
But
I guess
fumble.
it makes sense. That was not 2000.
Testaverde.
Vinny Testaverde,
my man Vinny Testaverde.
Curtis Martin, all them boys.
Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez is my boy. Big fan of
You
Mark
guys
Sanchez.
had
He
two
would
on your
be
leg
polite.
like Rex Ryan.
I thought that was wild at the time, but
At the
I love that
time.
he did it. And then motherfucker got it covered up with the Bills jersey. So I, as a guy who's been a lifelong, not a lifelong, a Rex Ryan supporter, dead to me, because I wanted him to retire after being the head coach of the Jets, because he's recognized as the head coach of the Jets, like universally, because of his success with us. And they want to go fuck it up. Fuck you. Can't
Rex
wait.
Ryan. Heart attack, Rex Ryan.
Heart attack.
That was our
Rude.
lifeline journey, was to give Rex Ryan as the head coach of the Jets a heart attack.
He lost all that weight.
Outside of being a Jets head coach, he's great. He's a good analyst. He's animated and everything. But as a head coach of the Jets, our lifelong journey is to give Rex Ryan a heart attack.
Because he was the
That's all.
only head coach that would actively come out there and be like, fuck you, Bill Belichick. But that was it. That was, you want to talk about somebody who represented New York in a fan base. It was Rex.
That was it.
That was it. Nobody else was coming out. Even the Giants throughout their fucking, when them winning shit, they never were out here just like talking hella shit and doing it. They were just doing it quiet, keeping it moving. How you doing? Keep moving, plunging away. Us, Rex Ryan was talking his shit the whole way. We're not here to kiss the rings. Fuck you, Bill Belichick. We're gonna punch you in the mouth in the alley after the game. Like, you're not gonna do shit. You got a problem with me? I'm wearing 97. I'm right up the middle, and Chris Jenkins. Suck me. Let's go get a goddamn snack.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
What a game. That was my Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jets Super Bowl. MLB, the owners locked out the players. Do you care?
Well, it gives the Yankees time to figure out if they're going to fucking do something.
Yeah.
A whole lot of time. But, like, they're not going to miss a game. Like,
they better not. They can't.
They're not going to. They're going to get it figured out. They got so much time before they have to actually figure it out. What, pitchers and catchers report, what, February?
Yep.
They got them a couple months. It'll be done by the time pitchers and catchers have to report. But hopefully by then, I'm interested to see what tampering is going to look like and how many suspensions or punishments can be dished out, because the second the lockout's over, you're going to have all these contracts being signed.
Sign.
Immediately, randomly, out of nowhere. So I'm very interested to see if the Yankees decide they're going to do a fucking thing. But I am prepared for the worst, which is nothing.
Yeah,
because Carlos Correa is still out there and is not a New York Yankee.
And I don't want his ass.
I'll take him.
Fuck.
I don't like his Derek Jeter comments at all. But I'd gladly welcome him onto the team. But I did in the group chat share a nice picture that was all the owners in the MLB are horrible people except Derek Jeter.
Which is true. 100% fact. 100% fact. But you know what time it is.
Play the music.
Play the music.
Thank you. Stop the music. I don't have anything this week.
You have no trivia?
Wow.
I was a little busy today. I couldn't get anything going. Oh, the disappointment. Oh, look at your faces.
The graphic
Look
is
at your
gone.
faces. And guess what? I'm playing the music.
Make sure you
Right?
pull the record back on that when you stop the music.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is your guys' face right now. I was a little busy today, so I didn't have time to put something together. But I will have double next week, which is going to be fun. Which is kind of, it works out pretty well because there's only 3 of us. It'll just be you two going head to head.
Yeah.
And as we know, James is the trivia champion after his just unbelievable buzzer beater last week. Oh, when I was editing the pod last week and I'm watching it over again, I was getting goosebumps. I was getting goosebumps. I was just like, yeah, it's fucking James.
It was like,
oh!
It was like Mike was like, there's only one team that's ever done it. He was just ready for me to fuck up so he can answer the question. And you were like 5, 4, 3, 2. And I was like, Steelers. It was like, yeah.
Mike's face, he was just like, he couldn't fucking believe it.
Unbelievable.
That was the Ray Allen corner 3.
Yes.
That Anthony loves to shit on. That was the Ray Allen corner 3 that saved the game.
And yet another week that Anthony does not get anything right.
Here's a spoiler alert. I don't think he's ever going to get one right. I think it's my life's journey. I think it's like my magnum opus in life is to create a trivia show where Anthony just doesn't know any of the answers. I think that is the single most personally entertaining thing I could possibly do. Like, it could be miserable. People may hate it. They may hate it. But as long as I get a laugh out of it, that's what matters. Because I hate him so much.
Oh my god.
He deserves everything bad that happens to his sports teams.
Deserves what he's getting.
He deserves what he gets. And I hope you never get a trivia question right. Put that on record. Clip it. Send it to the boys. Put it on social media.
Whoa.
I hope Anthony doesn't win anything.
Well, the Lakers have just wrapped this one up. And all 3 teams have won tonight. The Knicks, the Nets, and the Lakers.
Let's go. No sad Pepe tonight. No sad Pepe tonight. We'll get that off. But Nets win.
Nets win. Yeah, whatever.
Nets win.
Lakers win. Knicks win. Bing bong.
James texts the group at like 5:30 today. And he's just like, Dylan, I fucking hate your guts. Because he was making a clip of the clip from last week of me going off, and he goes, you better hope the Nets win tonight because I'm coming for you. And I'm just like, that's not how that works. It was a rivalry game. I got to come at you. I don't come at y'all for regular season Nick losses. This is not how this works. We have this dynamic where it's a rivalry game. If we lost to the Mavs, he was going to come at me like he was a Mavs fan.
No, it happened to be the perfect trifecta of a night where the Lakers play, the Nets play, and the Knicks play all in the same night while we're potting. I don't think that's going to happen for another few weeks. So if we had the full team here, yeah, exactly.
It's the sports full moon.
So.
Well, if there's nothing else, let's hit them goodbyes.
I'll go first this time. Thank you for the followers, the subscribers. Like and subscribe to the Instagram page, YouTube page. Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Man, give us all those streams. We love them. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to the Triple B's chat room. We said a lot of stuff in there that can't be said on air. I can't wait to get a few of those fellas on there. Shout out to Demigod, rocking the Demigod dad hat. Shout out to Melanin. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? That's the fam right there. And follow me on at Breezy _B__BILLZ on Instagram. And follow me on Twitter. That's at Breezy5X. Yeah, man. See y'all again next week. Knicks up.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Comment. All that stuff. Share with your friends and family. We're good people. We do this out of the kindness of our hearts to make sure y'all are entertained and get some interesting sports takes. So please like and subscribe and share to everybody that you know. You got a friend, send it their way. They're not your friend if they don't listen. Bad friends. Don't listen to good friends.
They're bad friends if they don't want to like and subscribe.
Bad friends if they don't want to like and subscribe and rate on all podcast platforms. That would be absolutely unbelievable. At Bronzeback Gorilla on Instagram, at BB_Gorilla_ on Twitter.
We're getting the socials tonight.
Socials. But we're having a good time. I enjoy this. Hopefully when James edits some clips, I'll be able to throw some out.
Pure growth.
And pure growth. Set it out. I'm looking for all the hate that I'm possibly going to get for any clip that I have because it's just going to be keep attacking one specific fan base in the Knicks. Actually, two. I attack the Patriots fan base and the Knicks fan base.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. But I like the Raiders. I just hate Anthony.
That's only because Anthony, yeah.
But yeah, I look to attract the hate from Knicks fans and Patriots fans because fuck y'all. But we have a good time here. Like and subscribe.
Yes, I think, Dylan, me and you, from the feedback that I've gotten, me and you are the most hated on the show. So I love it. I love it, Dylan.
I live for it.
We are the hated ones, so that's cool. You know, that means we're doing something right.
Exactly.
But
hate me. hate. Put that in. Hate. It's the player hate his ball from the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Thank you to Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify for giving us a place to put this on. YouTube for showing our faces. Like the fellas said, like and subscribe, then jump to another platform and like and subscribe, then jump to another platform and like and subscribe. We do this because we love it. Follow me on the socials, IAM_MBJ on all the socials. Follow the IG page. The Twitter page is coming. And yeah, man, like and subscribe. Did we get everything? I got everything.
Ring that bell.
Shout out to Demigod. Oh yeah, on vacation. Shout out to my OTTR family. I see y'all. Yeah, we're not repping that green and white team.
You like two teams.
How do you have a basketball pennant? Isn't that only baseball?
You could get a pennant on anything. If I wanted a pennant about a fucking pizza place.
All right. Let it go. All right. Jeez.
You're lucky I don't got the Super Bowl III banner. Be obnoxious with that.
We are the Speak On It podcast, and we will be back better than ever. And with that, I say good night.